eSIM Studios, and we have some huge news for iPhone 15 and upcoming iPhone 16 series models. Huge news, changing news. Big plans for the iPhone 15 and 16. So, yeah, as you know, Apple's been keeping the same design language for their iPhones for the past 3 or 4 years, basically. Same basic design. I know it took more shape with iPhone 11, more of the squared 90-degree angle corner look. Of course, iPhone X series was more rounded. But it looks like Apple is going to change the, not necessarily the way, well, yeah, I guess the way it looks. Right off the bat, iPhone 15 is going to keep the square design, but on the back side of the phone, it's actually going to be rounded like the iPhone 11 series kind of was. It'll keep the flat 90-degree angle on the front side of the device where the screen is, but on the back, instead of a 90-degree angle where it's boxed off, where it's squared, on the back side, it's going to be rounded a little bit, right? But that's not the big news. The big news is that for the iPhone 15, they are going to switch to USB-C charging port, and they are also going to do a buttonless iPhone. Yes, you heard me right, a buttonless iPhone. They've already started to source parts. It's going to be introduced on the Pro model, iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, or I think they're going to even change the naming to the Ultra. So the base models are not necessarily going to have it. A buttonless iPhone means there's not going to be a power button, and there's not going to be a volume rocker or volume up, volume down. What they're going to do is, now this has been done before, was not that popular. Now, not necessarily a buttonless phone, but I'm not sure if many of you remember, but on the Google Pixel 2 and Google Pixel 3, to initiate the Google search, you basically touched and or squeezed a certain side of each side of the phone. Now, you can go into settings and you can change how sensitive it is, but you still have the power button, still have the volume buttons. With this new iPhone 15 Pro, now the USB-C is going to be on all iPhone 15s, thanks to the EU's new law, where every device has to have a USB-C charging port. But this one's only going to be on the Pro models. And basically, my concern is, now they're going to have, when you do push on the right side would be power, left side would be volume buttons. They are going to put a haptic feel, kind of like a quick little click sound and a vibrator, kind of like on the iPhone SE3, the home button, the one that released in 2022. It was not necessarily a physical button. It's going to be something like that, where there's going to be no buttons, but you're just going to push that side of the iPhone to simply power it on. You're going to tap two sides of the left side of the iPhone for volume up and volume down. Now, one concern that initially popped into my head was, what about cases? Because I know a lot of people like to put cases on their device, is how sensitive and or if it's going to work or not. Now, they are going to either continue it on all further iPhones, or they may not, depending on how the public, depending on the fanfare. If people complain a lot, they're probably going to discontinue it. If people don't complain a lot, they'll probably keep it. And moving forward with the iPhone 16, they are apparently going to do not only a buttonless iPhone on the iPhone 16, let me back up. iPhone 15, I left out one last thing. They're going to add another camera, a fourth camera, a periscope camera on the iPhone 15. Now this will be on the Pro models. So we have 4 cameras, USB-C, and you will have no buttons on the iPhone 15. Moving forward to the iPhone 16. In the future, we've heard rumblings that they want to make a phone with no buttons and no charging port. Basically go all wireless. There's a new wireless standard coming out this year, 2.0 wireless charging 2.0. Supposed to wireless charge your device for Android and iPhone much faster. So with the introduction of that, and Apple is wanting to do away with buttons and with a charging port. So moving on to the 16, you may have no charging port and no buttons. And the dynamic island is going to go away. They are going to do, apparently they're testing Face ID with the under the display face scanner. Now Samsung has this on their device, on their Fold 4 already, and Xiaomi has had this on one of their devices for 2 years already. So the technology's there. It's just much harder with Apple's 3D Face ID because you need 2 cameras. So moving forward to the iPhone 16 will be no buttons, no charging port, and potentially no dynamic display. And depending on how the iPhone 15 fanfare is with the no buttons, they're thinking about putting it on their iPads moving forward, and potentially not only the Pro models on the iPhone 16, but all models on the iPhone 16, including the regular standard models. So big changes are coming. It'll be interesting to see how y'all like it. I don't know how I would like it, but I'm sure some Android devices are going to be there, 5, 6, 7 years, somewhere in the future. All devices are going to be this way. So go in the description. I have everything typed up, written out for you. If I missed anything, I do apologize. But just go in the description, and I put all the info in there for you. So this is eSIM Studios, and big changes are coming to iPhone. We'll see how you like them.